As part of Amy's work to include the voices of all women who face violence, she interviewed a diverse group of trans women in preparation for creating this piece. This piece was performed for the first time by an all-transgender cast in LA in 2004.
At 5 years old, I was putting my baby sister's diapers on. I saw her vagina. I wanted one. I wanted one. I thought it would grow.
I thought I would open. I ached to belong. I ached to smell like my mother. Her sweet aroma lived in my hair, on my hands, in my skin. I ached to be pretty. Pretty.
I wondered why I was missing my bathing suit top at the beach. Why wasn't I dressed like the other girls? I ached to be complete. I ached to belong, to twirl the baton.
They assigned me a sex the day I was born. It's as random as being adopted or as being assigned the 30th floor in a hotel room. It has nothing to do with who you are or your fear of heights. But in spite of the apparatus I was forced to carry around, I always knew I was a girl. Or your fear of heights, but in spite of the apparatus I was forced to carry around, I always knew I was a girl.
They beat me for it. They beat me for crying. They pummeled me for wanting.
To touch.
To pet.
To hug.
To help.
To hold their hands.
For trying to fly in church like Sister Patrell.
For doing cartwheels.
Crocheting socks.
For carrying purses in kindergarten. For carrying purses in kindergarten.
They kicked the shit out of me every day on my way to school.
In the park, they smashed my magic marker painted nails.
They punched my lipstick mouth.
They
Beat the girl out of my boy. Or so they tried.
So I went underground. I stopped playing the flute.
Be a man. Stand up for yourself. Go punch him back.
I grew a full beard.
It was good. I was big.
I joined the Marines. It was good. I was big. I joined the Marines. Suck it up and drive on.
I became duller.
Jaded.
Sometimes cruel.
Butch it.
Butch it.
Butch it up.
Always clenched, inaccurate, incomplete.
I ran away from home.
From school.
From boot camp.
Ran to Miami.
Greenwich Village.
Aleutian Islands.
New Orleans. From boot camp.
Ran to Miami.
Greenwich Village.
Aleutian Islands.
New Orleans.
I found gay people.
Wilderness lesbians.
Got my first hormone shot. Got permission to be myself.
To transition. To travel. To immigrate. 350 hours of hot needles. I would count the male particles as they died. 16 man hairs gone.
The feminine is in your face. I lift my eyebrows more. I'm curious. I ask questions. I lift my eyebrows more. I'm curious. I ask questions.
And my voice. Practice. Practice. It's all about resonance. Sing-song, sing-song, and a monotone and flat. Southern accents really help. Jewish accents are excellent. Hello, my friend.
And my vagina is so much friendlier. I cherish it. It brings me joy.
The orgasms come in waves. Before they were jerky.
I'm your girl next door.
My lieutenant colonel father ended up paying for it. My vagina.
My mother was worried that people would think of her. That she made this happen until I came to church. And everyone said, "You have a beautiful daughter." Daughter.
I got to be soft. I'm allowed to listen. I'm allowed to touch. I'm able to receive. To receive.
To be in the present tense.
People are so much nicer to me now.
I can wake up in the morning and put my hair in a ponytail.
A wrong was righted.
I am right with God.
It's like when you're trying to sleep, and there's a loud car alarm. When I got my vagina, it was like someone finally turned it off.
I live now in the female zone. But you know how people feel about immigrants. They don't like it when you come from someplace else. They don't like it when you mix. They kill my boyfriend. They beat him insanely as he slept with a baseball bat. They beat this girl out of his head. They didn't want him dating a foreigner, even though she was pretty and she listened and was kind. They didn't want him falling in love with ambiguity. They were scared he'd get lost. They were scared. They were terrified of love.
This piece was performed for some time without any mention of birth. This was a bizarre omission, but then again, a male journalist recently asked, "What's the connection?" Our author, Eve Ensler, was present for the birth of her granddaughter. She was in awe of vaginas before that moment. She's in deep worship now.
I was there when her vagina opened. We were all there. Her mother, her husband, I, and the nurse from the Ukraine, with her whole hand up in there in her vagina, twisting and feeling as she turned her slippery glove. I was there in the room when the contractions made her crawl on all fours, when unfamiliar moans leaked out of her pores, and still there after hours, when she just screamed, her arms striking at the electric air. I was there when her vagina changed from a shy sexual hole to an archaeological tunnel, a sacred vessel, a Venetian canal, a dark well with a tiny child stuck inside, waiting to get out. I saw the colors of her vagina. They changed. Saw the bruised, broken blue, the blistered tomato red, the gray, pink, the dark. Saw the blood like perspiration along the edges. Saw the yellow, white liquid, the shit, the clots, pushing through all the holes, pushing harder and harder. Saw through the hole the baby's head, this tiny head with scratches of black hair. Saw it just there, behind the bone, a hard, round memory, as the nurse from the Ukraine kept turning and twisting with her slippery hand. I was there when each of us, her mother and I, held a leg and pushed her wide open, pushing harder and harder against her pushing. And her husband, there, silently counting, 1, 2, 3, telling her to focus harder. We looked into her then. We couldn't get our eyes out of that place. We forget the vagina. We all do. What else would explain our lack of awe, our lack of reverence? I was there when the doctor reached in with Alice in Wonderland spoons, and there as her vagina became a wide open operatic mouth, singing with all of its strength. First the little head, then the gray flopping arm, and then the fast swimming body, swimming into our weeping arms. I was there later when I just turned and faced her vagina. I stood and let myself see her opened, mutilated, swollen, and torn, bleeding all over the doctor's hands, who were calmly sewing her there. I stood, and her vagina suddenly became a wide, red, pulsing heart. The heart is capable of sacrifice. So is the vagina. The heart is able to forgive and repair. It can change its shape to let us in. It can expand to let us out. So can the vagina. It can ache for us and stretch for us and die for us and bleed us into this difficult, wondrous life. I was there in the room. I remember.
Since 1998, V-Day, the global movement that grew out of Eve Ensler's play, The Vagina Monologues, has focused its attention on areas of the world where women and girls are most vulnerable. As V-Day approaches its 15th year of activism, we are spotlighting the common history of racism, poverty, slavery, and war that has thrown women into an endless cycle of violence and disempowerment. V-Day's work on the war-ravaged Democratic Republic of Congo, post-Katrina New Orleans, and the earthquake-devastated country of Haiti is to reveal the links between these issues and support women on the ground who are struggling for liberation and a violence-free future.
What broken, earthquaked, bombed out, worn down, worn over, levee flooded? What bright yellow, green speckled, mango sitting? Dustlight, barefooted, pig walking, goat crossing, garbage piled high, cement broken, hot daylight, hungry history shackled, hands missing, rubber cutting, boys running, girl bleeding, displaced evacuee exiled, water coming, earth cracking, houses falling, vagina splitting, what unpeacekeepers, U.S. guards guns pointing, what red, yellow, green X, no body markings, what cold company men, buying warm dead-bodied land out from under, what money promised, 9 billion, 29 billion, many billion, never arriving billion, what ex-presidents, missing presidents, corrupt presidents, what 4-year-old, 6-year-old, 18-year-old raped open in Superdome camp-burning villages, what outside, well-intended saving and rendering powerless victims, made victims, victims. What melting, penetrable, tense, skin, soul. What world? What people? Having everything. Keep going. While garbage swallows boys carrying songs, dances, churches, fields, abuse. Centers carrying possibility. Bellies being as words. What women? Carrying on. Outshining filth, outshining odds. What happens now? New Orleans, Haiti, Congo women? Now or never. Women claiming what they carry, claiming, carrying. Now women colored brightly, carrying everything, everything. Carrying on, I tell you, carrying on.